Hello, everybody. Hi, this is Dr. Akulasu. Uh, Hi, Nazli. Welcome. Uh, Welcome, everybody, on other channels. I am continuing my series on spirituality that could be practical, right? Um, Actually, I put a lot into this. What is the point of reading or learning anything if that's not applied in our life? So first I have to apply, and then I can share that, right? So that is the spirit with which I am coming here. Hi, Daryl. Welcome. So it's more like a how can we spiritualize our daily life without being dogmatic, religious, or pushing something on anybody. For me, as I explained to you yesterday, the spirituality is what kind of spirit you have. Do you have a generous spirit? Do you have a compassionate spirit? Do you have a irritable spirit, or do you have uh, more like a angry spirit and all? I was irritable many times. Even now I can get irritated if people are doing something. But then now I am aware of it, and I don't manifest that. But the irritation inside also is going down as maybe 0.5% there now. But then accepting that, and then let it dissipate by itself is what I'm talking about. Okay, uh, so how can we did yesterday we were talking about even if things are very chaotic outside in our life, in our world, in our circumstances, how can you be peaceful? So, like I said, you got to be stationed in your real nature, which is not just your body and the mind. Those two are your tools for your real nature, right? So once you are in there and you don't have this movement of thought, movement of feelings and all, you may have them, but they won't affect you that much. That's a pretty deep thing, but then everybody has their own way of going there. Today, I'm going to talk very, very practical is the second thing. As I told you, I was going to do 10 days. The second thing I'm going to do today is to how can you be attentive to everything that's going on, in your life. It could be how you are breathing, it could be how you are walking, it could be how you are eating, it could be how you are talking to people or reacting to people, any number of things, right? So that's what I want to focus on today. Especially the breathing is very important because it is connected with your thoughts and your uh, your feelings and everything too. So let's take one thing at a time. As you get up in the morning, are you allowing your thoughts come in, or are you reaching out for the devices? Are you keeping them aside? Everything that you do through the day, that becomes really important to be aware of, to be in the present, right? Many people use mindful. I kind of have a reservation about it, because the mindful, I do use it just to make people understand what I'm talking about. But I would prefer the term awareness, not mindfulness, because the movement to mindfulness, a lot of people use more of the mind rather than just being attentive, just being aware. When you are really not judging, but at the same time aware of what's going on here. So it's basically being in the present, whatever you are doing. This is something very religiously, or maybe not the word, but very sincerely we try to apply in the office. For example, I kind of want my staff to be understanding this and practice it at least to some extent. Okay, most of them do pretty regularly, but some people may slip into daydreaming sometimes. But the essential thing is, whatever you do, if you are paying complete attention to it and not carrying it forward, or really stop and thinking about some things that helped us in so many situations. For example, if you have a patient that has come to the clinic and he had a history of uh, fighting with the staff or something or other, and he comes today, usually I want them to put those impressions, not like a shallow professionalism, but with really meaning that, because you have forgiven him, and also you don't want to bring that here unless that is relevant to something. But most of the time, reach him and receive him with as though he is coming for the first time. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so beginner's mind, right? So I kind of made them see how much burden they will lose by being like that. So instead of having all the past, all the impressions and everything that has happened, instead of burying them, you come in saying like, "Oh, he was like that," and then you talk to him like though he is here now like that. He may not be. He may not be angry. He may not be. He may be actually regretting what happened, and he was in a mood to um, be conciliatory or apologize to. So lots of times they appreciated that we were professionals and we are taking them um, for what they are, and we're trying to help them. We're being the big people. Okay, so a lot of patients appreciated that and said that you got a very professional lot. There's the thing there is to get a lot. So be attentive to every action. That also improved the efficiency of the staff, because suppose they received a patient and there is a series of things I want them to do, because they're all meaningful use requirements, right? I was actually one of the first to get involved in the meaningful use matrix when they first rolled out the federal government. I was one of the first ones, because I was very interested in that from the beginning, and I knew some people in the central government that were working on this. So one thing led to other. Then I learned a lot about that much before than many people. They involve mainly normal vitals, documenting their sex and where they are coming from. Not only that, are they smoking or not? If they are smoking, did we give them counseling? So there are so many requirements like that. If you really understand, you can implement them, right? So what I taught my staff is pay attention to every action. Means you receive the patient with a smile, looking into his eyes, and then you invite him to into the exam room, where you kind of hold the door for him or her, or you help them with the wheelchair, whatever. And then once you go there, you always tell them every action that you're going to do with them. I'm going to take your blood pressure, I'm going to take your temperature, like that. So you get the drift. I was asking them to pay attention to every action. The tendency nowadays is we think 10 things and we do maybe another 5 things, the multitasking that people think they're going to be very efficient. Actually, it is not. You can experiment with this and let me know if you find something else. You can experiment doing several things and then feel how you do, or you do one thing in sequence. That means you are completely focused, even for a few seconds or a few minutes, you are completely focused with that. So that is the same spirit I'm bringing into this talk today, is about how you are breathing, how you are eating, how you are walking, how you are listening to somebody, active listening, how you are saying something, and whatever that's going on in your life. If you begin to stop and observe that, and that is practical spirituality, where you are coming with your real here and now, and not bringing the past knowledge about the person or the situation, and also you're not projecting, this is the way I'm going to be, and this is the only way I'm going to be. You are going to adjust to the situation, you're going to learn and improvise situation, all that. So, and so many other ways, how you kind of uh, do your instrument. For example, you're a musician, you're playing something, be completely involved. You're playing a game, be completely involved. So this is something like a mantra I talk about all the time. Pay attention to every action. You can write it down and do it yourself and see how much energy you save of going through all the things that we want to do. Okay. See, we are conditioned to think all the time, but I am asking you not to think when you're doing stuff. Think ahead and think later, but not be lost in thought when you're doing stuff. I think this is very difficult for a lot of people because they're already wired, and the thought, especially the intellectually biased people, and they think they can solve everything with intellect. That's where our civilization has gone wrong, probably, because you can think continuously, or can allow your think drive you, or you can consciously think and keep the thought under your control, and also you can follow the thought, you can stop the thought, you can be really enjoy things in silence. Okay, that's possible. That's what I'm saying. It's not, you don't have to go to Himalayas, you don't have to go to any 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 retreats and all that. You just have to understand. For example, let's start with the breathing. When you are breathing, obviously there is an inhalation and exhalation, right? But the important thing is you got to learn to hold the breath a little bit. Okay, that will change your respiratory physiology and metabolic physiology, your energy, everything much more. But then you have to have a guidance for that. Okay, if anybody interested, they can reach out for me. So you are breathing in and you are breathing out. So one of the things I recommend to my physicians, nurses, and other people I kind of talk to a burnout and coach them, I tell them, take 1 minute break every hour during the work, and then take this deep breath and be aware of that breathing in and breathing out. And if possible, you can hold it for a while. Usually we say 7, 4, 8, 7 count you breathe in, 4 count you hold it, and 8 count you breathe out. Okay, that is a kind of standard instruction. But then as people advance, and for example, I can go holding my breath for a minute, without any discomfort. But it is pretty important to understand that could be dangerous for people who cannot hold more than 5 seconds to 10 seconds. So don't force yourself, ease into it, and allow the training to happen. Okay, and later on you will develop. But then there's other theory too. We normally breathe for 15 times per minute, right? But then if you hold the breath for the 15, I have saved those 15 breaths, and so my longevity goes up. So there are so many theories about it. But basically, whenever you are breathing, if you are, for example, you are in the middle of a big discussion going on, and you just stop and take deep breath and see all the thoughts going on continuously, that will stop, then you won't have this urge to speak. Okay, so many benefits are there with the breathing awareness. So be aware of the breath, how it is, and then if it is shallow, if it is your abdominal wall is not coming up when you are breathing, and is not going towards spine when you are breathing out, then you are having a shallow breathing. It's maybe thoraco-abdominal rather than abdominal-thoracic. That's what everybody teaches, so I don't have to say much about it. But just be aware of the breathing so many times a day, and then eventually you graduate into where you are really aware of your shallow breathing or deep breathing, and then you will use the breathing to calm your nerves, to calm your mood so many ways. And then suppose you are eating. Okay, pay complete attention to that. Okay, the flavors, the smells, the tastes, and all those things you enjoy. You savor your food. That's very, very important too. So, and then you are walking to your office. Feel the feet under you. Appreciate the touch sensation of that. Actually, uh, one of the people in India also showed they have a path around a big tree that they made it up with a lot of soft rocks are there, but then they're not like really hurting you. But then you can walk on that barefoot, and then you'll feel massage of the feet of both feet on the rock path, which is very good. Okay, people sincere yoga practitioners try to anchor to the earth and also feel the earth and be aware of it. So this is one tool that you could see where I can improve my awareness in the present moment, right? And then suppose you're having a conversation with somebody, be an active listener. That means keep your incessant chat inside quiet, then so that you can listen to them. This is what I call intellectual availability. Applies to me because when I go to see the patient, usually the doctor we have monopolized their time, but we have to watch it, right? So that's why we have to calm down so that I am intellectually available to listen to the person, right? And that's not possible with a lot of people because they are kind of, you know, talking so much inside and outside, and they want to tell what they want to tell, and then they leave. So cultivate the active listening. That comes when you are aware that other person is talking what, why it is talking, and how I am doing. More than the other person, you got to concentrate on yourself. How am I listening? Okay. So any number of things will be helpful if you do that active listening, and where you are making other person listen to, okay? So that they feel like you have spent a lot of time with them, and they're happy that they were able to express what they want to do. Okay, I invite people to come and talk to me here, but I know everybody comes and listens and goes, but I don't mind listening to them. I would prefer to listen to them. I would prefer to answer their questions. I would prefer to say, um, I may not agree with you, that's for sure, but I will listen to you. I do. That's what I do with my patients. Lots of them tell me a lot of things that they never tell anybody else, not even family members. So it's a question of having the rapport where you are eager to listen to them. You are displaying that interest to listen to them. You are not really putting them down or anything, but you are going to tell your opinion. That's okay. But then you got to listen first, right? So all these activities, breathing, walking, sitting down and eating, and listening, any number of these things can be practiced on a daily basis. And if you do that, then you are always acting in the moment and without preconceived notions. And that is spiritual for me. If somebody is not coming from their racist point of view or from their parochial point of view and anything, country or whatever, then that becomes really important for me. Hello, Kate. How are you? I haven't seen you lately.
Oh, I've kind of been out of it for a while. Not
Ah,
choice wise, just because so much is going on.
yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'm talking about what is practical spirituality, and I selected like a 10 topics. And yesterday I talked about how can you be spiritual when everything around is chaotic. How can you be calm inside? And today we're talking about how can we pay attention to everything. You know,
Oh,
so
I like that.
yeah. So
What,
this
could you say it again for
attention to
me?
every action. See, this is what I kind of practice, and also present to my staff to practice too. Is like a anything happens in the clinic or at home and all that, we kind of want to be in the present, here and now. So we are giving all to that action. We don't bring in any prejudices, we don't bring any preconceived notions. That's what I'm talking about. Like, suppose we are listening to a patient interviewing, then we got to listen to the patient, right? And don't have to keep everything in our mind, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So basically, then, okay, what I hear you saying, at least for me, is the focus.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. Yeah, be aware of what is happening instead of bringing in all sorts of material from the past or in the future. We can be really be open to whatever we do. Breathing I started, then eating I started, walking I started, listening to other people, all these actions. If you break down like I'm going to pay attention to every action here. For example, our work involves greeting the patients and then bringing to the exam room. And if the girl is preparing this patient, I want her to pay every action she does. She is taking a blood pressure, tell them that I'm going to take the blood pressure. And after taking it, tell them this is the blood pressure. And also, allay their worries. That kind of complete attention makes a big difference for them, because they feel like, oh, they're really taking care of me because they're paying attention to what I say, what I do, and also explaining every movement, and that became a very professional approach, which helped us to really make patients, treated well.
Well, how do you not get caught? And I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
How do you not get caught in what you're seeing?
Yeah.
With and especially if you pick up different things, how do you stay?
No, if you are seeing is okay, but if you are seeing and thinking at the same time, that's the problem. If you allow yourself to see completely, then you will see with a beginner's mind, not with your laden. That's the problem for all of us because we have so many stuff already laid into our seeing. Then we want to see what we want to see instead of what is there.
Oh, got it. So if you've been okay, then can I put it in my words?
Yeah.
So that I can understand it. Okay, and when I use the word caught, it means sometimes it's a hook.
Yeah.
From an old
Yeah.
an old experience.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Earlier, I presented this to a patient comes to the clinic. He had a problem with the staff and he fought with them last week. And now he may be regretting, but if you carry that impression from last week, then you're going not go to meet him for what he is now. Even in the relationship is like that. Don't bring the all our luggage, all our past things into the present moment. That's what I'm saying. Be attentive to present moment. What's going on here?
Okay, but what if? Okay, let me throw out something here, because what if there's a difference between having it go into the past thinking, and there's a difference in past what you're seeing in front of you visually.
Yeah, that means you are thinking.
First, you see it visually.
Yeah.
Then you see it with your bodily, facially, and expression.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, okay, so what I hear you saying is you put some things you have to put on hold.
Yeah.
You're
no. The purity of the act of attention, if it is completely here and now, all those things you are bringing in with your analytical mind will not be there. Because if you don't have the purity of the act of attention here and now, then you bring in all those things, especially with the relationship.
How can you deny?
No, you don't have to deny. You were so quick about going into the back and association, which you started with. You told me that I can be this and all that. That means you are bringing the memory. You are not in the pure act of attention.
Okay, yeah. What I'm feeling that I miss out on is the whole story, or
Yeah.
what you're saying and what you brought to the here.
Yeah.
Practical spirituality day 2.
Yeah.
But I missed that. I just jumped in.
Yeah, that's okay. You're asking the right questions because this is what happens to everybody.
But,
Yeah.
but when I have clients,
Yeah.
okay, or when I have people that I'm working with,
Mm-hmm.
I have to be. I know this is not a first time experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's an experience over time with someone. I don't know how long your clients, when you mention clients, I don't know how long that you're in process or
Yeah.
they're in process with you.
See, I'm talking about spirituality. That means how you are inside, like a compassionate, kind, whatever person you are at that moment, to the
You have to
relationship.
be. You have to be
To
that
the
kind of person.
yeah.
If someone comes to you and they're a client,
Yeah.
Of course you are. I would say you treat them with compassion,
Mm-hmm.
with love, or what I call love or holding space.
Yeah.
I'll call it holding space.
Same thing. Yeah.
But okay, let's say you're working with this person over a. Do you work with people over one time, or do you do it a matter of?
No, years. They have been with me for years, people. Okay. What the trick is, like you are breathing, for example, okay, that's how we started this. Are you aware of your breathing? You are eating. Are you?
I'm what? I'm not. I don't know how you can hear me breathing.
No, not hearing. Are you aware of your own breathing?
Yeah.
And then like that, every act, if you are attentive to it, it has enormous benefit. The human relationship, if you bring the past knowledge or whatever you want to conceive, that may be different from what they are presenting you with. So you have to be sensitive to that. Empty your intellectual chatter and all. It's very difficult because we are.
Okay, wait. Here's what I'm hearing. You don't. When someone is in front of you and you're working with them,
yeah,
you don't do it intellectually.
Yeah, you got to be here with them.
You have to be whole yourself.
Yeah.
And you need to let them be present to you.
Yes.
But they can't be present to you if you've got your head going on. If you've got thinking going on.
Exactly.
About anything else but what's in front of you.
Yeah. That's what I said about, I think you missed that too, because intellectual availability. That means your intellect is not going all over, but I'm talking about spirituality here. I'm not talking about practical matters, but I'm talking about how I'm relating to them on a daily life. For example, there is food in front of you. How you are related to the food? Are you enjoying the food? Are you savoring the food? Or you are talking something and then eating?
Right. But that's being present.
Yeah. But
being
then
present to whatever's in front of you.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Being present here and now, aware of what is going on.
Okay, I missed the last thing you said, the last section you said about going back. I missed the first part of it.
Yeah. Basically, be aware. Whatever is happening, be aware. Then that takes a transformative effect of all the acts that you are doing. And also, you are kind of in a flow, whatever you are doing, in a minor way. And then that itself produces the results, especially when you are dealing with human beings or animals or plants or anything like that, where the spirit comes in, not your calculating, conceiving, conceptual, past ridden thinking. That's very difficult because people don't come with silence, they come with a lot of chatter. That's what I'm talking about. Don't be in the chatter.
But if they have chatter, or if they come to you with that, then you have to give them space.
No, I'm not talking about chatter in them, chatter in you.
No, but don't you have to also give them space through you?
Not
through
not.
being present with them in fullness.
Yeah, I'm asking about us being present with them. See, I'm not asking my patients not to say anything or no, not that. I am available to them or not. That's the question.
Okay, I see. I guess also I'm not fully understanding.
You are
When you
thinking
say your patients,
you are my patient because I'm a
yeah.
physician, right? When the patients come in front of me asking for help, this is what we eat. I kind of examples because so that people can understand. Basically, it is about spirituality of silence, spirituality of being present to whatever situation comes into our life. So when you do that, if you look with this chattering mind, then you miss the moment. But if you stop your chatter within yourself, then you will be available to them with fully like active listening, active seeing things, But you see, you are thinking first and then leading everything. What I'm asking is be aware first and then do everything. So that is the key part. You see, like I have a patient comes and I have the patient, so many things happen. But the next patient I go, I cannot take all this for this patient to other patient because I have to be available for them intellectually with my mind completely empty. That's where this awareness in the moment helps a lot.
How much, can I ask you something? How much time do you spend with them?
Oh,
And no, wait, that's a real question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how, the timing,
Yeah.
your timing that you spend with them. But,
No, that's a good question, Kate, because my quality of listening is so good, they feel I have spent them a lot of time. But in reality, it's not that much time. I make them comfortable so they were able to tell me what they want to tell me. And afterwards, I may have some leading professional questions. That's good enough. But then, first, they have to feel that I'm listening to them.
They have to feel that or they wouldn't. Wouldn't get anything from you.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the act of listening is on my part.
Yeah.
That's all I'm talking about. See, you are thinking a lot with these questions. Don't think, just be aware. That's all I'm asking.
Honey, I'm going by this, by, I don't have, I have clients.
Yeah.
But those clients are 1 hour.
Yeah,
Clients.
yeah.
They're not come in when they have a problem kind of. These are people that will pay me to be with them. And so I schedule my time so I know what I'm doing at the end. I'm not seeing another client.
Yeah,
Do you have control over your timing?
Yes, very much so. Because I don't space 1 hour like that. I space according to the complexity of the problem. And also, there's one rule I did as a doctor, which was very unusual because I said, I'm here to listen to you. I never display like I'm going in a hurry to go away. So they tell me the things sometimes in the beginning, I may take a lot of time, but then later on, as we have a rapport, as we have the relationship, then I can spend them very little time and still I know what's going on. So lots of times they appreciate that they wait for me too. If I'm giving more time on patient, other patients wait because they know when they come in, they will get all the time that they need.
Basically, and do they come in again then?
Yeah, they do come in because they understand these are complex problems, health and psychology, everything. So when they come, they kind of expect to be listened to and give enough time and all. So if you are happier in a hurry, if you are saying like you don't have enough time and you are holding on the doorknob and standing there, then they feel like you don't have time for them. But what I do is I go.
Well, then you really don't have time for them if you're doing that.
I don't do that. No.
But not you're doing it, but somebody's doing
that's what is happening with the doctors. Many of them, I have to train them. What I do is I go and shake hands with them and then sit with them or next to them if they are doing a procedure or something. But they know that I am there and I'm completely there. That's my part.
Okay. That's rare.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm
no.
talking about.
From what I've seen, with that with other people when I've watched, because
Yeah.
sometimes you do that,
Yeah.
and it's like I totally, that presence.
Yeah.
They can't tell you anything if you don't have that presence.
Yes.
Or that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I got that.
That's
Okay.
very, very true, because I am done with other patient. I'm coming to this patient. All I do is, am I with this patient completely? This is what I'm talking about. From the morning, are you aware of your breathing? Are you aware of the life around you? Or are you lost in your devices? Are you lost in your multitasking? So this is what
I didn't hear your last word. I like that. Are you lost? When you said, "Are you lost?" What was the last word? Because I didn't.
Multitasking. Multitasking. Everybody multitasking, right? So I don't.
I hate that. Yes.
I don't do that. I do one thing at a time. That's all this talk is about. How can we?
Okay. I totally think that's great.
Yeah. No. Once you do that, what happens is you don't waste your mental energy by going through so many opinions. That's basically what it is. Awareness, attention, mindfulness, whatever the term we use, what we are saying is we are completely present with whatever we are doing without applying any judgment, any conclusions, and all that. This is a skill you can develop. That's what I'm saying. It's not easy, because the way we are wiring ourselves so fast, the thinking is mercurial. It comes so quickly. But then most people don't realize they are in thought but not in awareness. That's what I'm trying to bring it.
Okay, I totally agree with you, and I get caught there.
Yeah.
I mean, I have gotten caught there.
Yeah.
A lot, and a lot of times it's with friends.
Yeah.
It isn't just with clients.
Yeah.
I get caught in my own process.
Yeah.
And it's connected to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
But if I stay with myself,
yeah,
and that presence with the person,
yeah, exactly,
then it's a totally different experience.
Kate, in the morning, I do what's called a wellness club for my students. What I teach there is, we do the yoga exercises, we do the breathing, meditation, all those things we do. Sometimes I customize according to the, somebody has a back pain, somebody has a headache, or shoulder pain, whatever, right? But then generally there is a general thing we do. But the first thing I always tell them is, let us be here and now. From the first breath we take, right? And then through that hour that we go through, that 1 hour, I want them to be stabilized in their presence, right? So that means if you are stretching a muscle, feel that, be aware of that. Whatever the tension one may have, other may not have. But so that's called swa adhyaya, self-study. Be aware of what's going on with you, with that posture and all. So then what happens is,
quick question here.
First listen. No, first listen, because this is important to understand the sequence. Then, once they are done with that, I want them to take the presence through the day, like a perfume, so that they are doing this awareness presence all through the day. And that becomes happier, because otherwise this thought will take over you. Yeah, now you tell me. Yeah, ask me.
Okay, I like what you said when you said customize.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm trying to when you said start wherever, but when, okay, let me ask you a question. When you say the here and now, and this is a question to mainly, I would say, Americans.
No, all over the world. All over the world now. All over the world.
When I'm talking about the people that are the people on the street that you deal with, or that in your milieu, wherever you're working, and I know that we talked before, and it's been a long time, but people have a hard time, and you mentioned something that would have been helpful, and said it, and I was interested in what you said when you customize. Yeah. And when you said that you're noticing back pain, or they're noticing back pain, they're where they are. Mm-hmm. And the question, it's very hard for a lot of people,
Yeah.
which I have worked with, to understand when you say the here and now, because most people don't know what that means, to really feel the here and now. And then you described a way you help them.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to make clear that I don't quite understand.
Yeah, it's kind of being aware rather than being in thought. There's a difference because many people don't understand because they are in thought. I'm talking about beyond thought, there is this awareness. You get up in the morning, first thing you are aware, you are awake. And then your thoughts come in, flooding in. You want to delay that a little bit. That's the training I give in the morning. See? So when they come, they may not be able to, but this is a training. It's not like you do it one day. It will take a long time, understanding the thought structure, understanding the conditioning, understanding how the whole thing is mired up in thought. That's where the problem is.
Okay, you just explained it a little bit more with giving me more information.
Yeah.
About in a way you help them get into more an alignment with their own, and that may be a bad word, but they're able to really be more aware.
Kate, when you said more information, I'm not trying to give you information. I'm trying to give you insight into that. Catch that insight, then it will be very understandable.
No, honey, the thing, okay, the basic thing that when I work with people, the hardest thing is to help them really become aware.
Yeah, it is. It is very hard. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And you described something. Now, you didn't describe it now, but you had to, when that person with the back, I think there was something with the back. Yeah. You said something that was very helpful to me. Yeah. Hearing you. Yeah. About helping them feel the awareness of their body in the here and now. Yeah. Literally.
But what I'm talking about today, about awareness of every action in your life. I started with breathing. I started with walking. I started with eating. I started with listening to people. All these actions, you got to be here and now at that time of that activity.
Wow. Okay. I'm hearing more.
Yeah. No, you are still, Kate, you are still having the questions and everything go through and you're trying to elicit some information. Don't do that. Be aware of what's going on within you and be aware of the insights that are coming.
Well, okay. I think what I'm aware of the words, but I'm aware of much more. Yeah. I'm aware.
That's it.
Of what you're saying.
Yeah, you are aware of much more is the problem.
No, wait. What you said before, how you helped them.
Yeah.
In that one sentence, helping them get it actually aware of more than they were first aware of.
Yeah. No, the thing is you are playing with the words. But basically, the simple thing is they come, I tell them, okay, let's do a simple posture, like we call it standing posture. Standing itself is a posture, right? And then I'll say, let's do reed pose. That's okay, tree pose, right? You kind of get your arms up and then you kind of bend to one side. When they do that, some people have more bending because of the flexibility. Some people may not. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to compare with anybody, but you be aware of how much bending was allowed to you. And then be aware of that. It's called the self-study. You are not studying other people. You are studying yourself. What's going on there?
Okay. All right. All right.
But I'll ask you one question. Are you silent for a while every day?
Oh, I have to be.
No. That's not it. My question is, are you?
Am I quiet during the day?
Completely quiet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
that's good. Go to other people with that quietness. Is awareness is quiet. Serenity is the property of the awareness. But the this
thank
chattering
you.
of the
That's beautiful.
yeah, but the
Thank you
chattering
for that.
chattering is for the intellect. You see
Say
that
that again. Wait, say that again. Thank you. That I'm hearing you. My body is hearing you.
yeah,
And
you are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That activity of the intellect is so fast, so mercurial. We are not even aware of it. But
beautiful.
once you are aware of it, it will go down. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Beautiful. And so I'm here's what I'm hearing, and I really like it, is that the first what I'm hearing when I am someone is present to me and I am present to myself,
Yeah.
the quietness
Mm-hmm.
is so which is I'm feeling very touched by this because thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
It's like I'm feeling that yes, that's a missing. That is exactly what is missing,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that because my mind is very active.
Kate, when some before I got all this, I was thinking a lot of things all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I think consciously. Most of the time, I'm quiet and aware. But when I want to think about something, I become consciously thinking. Actually, I'm in silence and then thinking. So basically, we were trained to be using the thought all the time. But what I'm
Yes.
saying is inviting people, you can use the thought, but don't make the thought dominate you under all circumstances. Be the awareness that you are. It's a totally different paradigm. Once you are in the awareness, you are naturally serene and silent.
So, okay. So what I hear I feel this is what I'm feeling.
Hmm.
My feeling is that the openness
Hmm.
is so important
Yeah.
to my the person in front of me, but first to myself.
Yeah. You got it. You got it. That's correct. That's what I'm saying. First, you be the silenced one, and then you can feel the silence in the other people too.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That is the insight.
I think I feel kind of full
Yeah.
with what you just told me, and I am going to use that
Yeah.
and not use it. I am going to look at that and really hold it.
Yeah. That's it. Hold it.
Me. So thank you.
That's
and I'm
very
going to get off now
and
because
very
I'm
good.
excited.
Hold it, because this is what I get to my students in the morning. Be here and now. Put everything else outside, and they gradually get it, and then they feel the uh, non-reactionary at home at work, because they are not impulsively reacting to things. They kind of take back. So iteratively it works on them, and then you have to understand the network of thought, very powerful, very mercurial. So unless you learn to be uh, deeper meditation and all that are there, I teach them too. But then according to where they are, some people are scattered all over in their mind, some people are kind of focused, some people I can lead them beyond thought into this awareness all the time. But
What I'm feeling with what you're saying, and is that, and I'm talking about what's in front of me, not necessarily the client,
yeah,
but whatever is in front of me,
yes,
to enter that space with the quietness,
yeah,
with that quiet part of me,
yeah,
that holding of myself,
yeah.
and then the presence of another, whatever it is.
You used the word I felt it. That's the correct thing. You have to feel with your intuition. I'm asking, be aware of your breath, be aware of what you're eating, the smells, the flavors, all the food savor. And also, like that, when you're having a conversation, Be an active listener. Be silent first and then listen to them.
Thank you. Seriously, this has been very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Actually, I call that my hour of wellness club in the morning and exercise in awareness.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned the morning.
Yeah.
Because sometimes my head is already going.
Yeah.
In the morning.
I will give you a tip how you can do that. Don't sleep with the devices at least hour or half an hour. Put them away, shut them off. Okay, and then in the morning, don't pick them up. At least half an hour, 1 hour after you get up, don't pick them up. This is something a practical thing that we could do where we don't allow our mind to run. There was a CEO in our hospital, Dana, and we were friends very much. She told me she has maybe 17, 18 meetings a day. That day also she has 17, I believe. I can't stop my mind. I said, no, wonder, because you are not trying to use it properly. Then she said, oh, what should I do? Then I gave her two exercises. One is at the bedtime, one is in the morning. The bedtime one is this. When you go to sleep, try to go to sleep, if possible, empty. It's very difficult. So, what you can do is close your eyes and see the thoughts and see whether they are negative or positive. Okay? Then, if they are negative, make them positive, something positive around that. Okay? But before that, write down the thoughts that you have and say, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this. If they are trivial, dump them. But if they are important, write them and forget for the night. Okay? And then you slept on the positive thoughts, and when you wake up in the morning, don't rush into thought right away. Be in touch with the live things around you, your spouse or your children, your pets or your plants or the nature, and don't say anything from the mind, just to be in touch with
but
it.
now here's the difference. I live alone. Okay, I live alone. So what wakes me up, what gets me up in the morning, and is the past, the present, and the future.
That's what I'm saying. That's why what I'm asking is deliberately pay attention to the live things. They don't need.
Say that again, because I didn't understand.
Deliberately pay attention to whatever the life around you.
Beautiful. Thank you. I need specifics, and that was a very specific.
Yeah.
That I can do.
I'll be more specific with you. Sleep on positive thoughts. Okay? And
okay, I got both of those. Yes.
In the morning, don't jump into the thought right away.
I want to take the quietness in the morning.
Yeah.
Because you're already, whatever happens during the night, the whatever, you're right. And then if you go to bed with something on your mind,
yeah, but
you're not quiet.
What I told you is not that simple. I just told you just is practical, but actually you have what are called inclinations and ingrained thoughts in the mind that were formed because of your unconscious habit of thinking. Okay, yes. There's a lot more in there. Suppose you are meditating and I'm making you order that order in your mind. What happens is they come up and you got to let them go. But you hold on to them, you form another neurotic path. So there's a lot of neuroscience, a lot of understanding about meditation and all that. But basically, eventually, when you are aware and you're silent all the time, then you can use the thought consciously. But then don't accumulate it, don't suppress it.
Okay, and you said something very important that I could feel.
Yeah.
Because I do accumulate.
Yeah, you do. You do. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And it's again the thing you said in the very beginning about the quietness.
Yeah.
I do know how to get there.
Yeah.
And for and it's like trusting that.
Stay there. Stay there. That's it. What I'm saying. Whatever you do, stay in that silence and do things.
Wow.
You can
say
do
that
it.
again. Am I going to say that again?
Whatever you do, every action that you do, the small things, stay there. And then,
beautiful.
Yeah, actually, this is possible. Inwardly, you can be tranquil, serene, quiet, and then use the tools of yours, which are your mind and your body.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful. I'm going to leave on that point because I don't want to get too much more. I love that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Fine. That's fine.
Thank you very much.
Very good, Kate. Okay.
All right, goodbye.
Jacob, you want to come up? Yeah, there he is.
Bonjour.
How are you?
I'm planning to take a nap soon, but I saw you in here, and I had to hang up. I like that you said letting go. I thought about this today.
Yeah.
I'm like, we hold and then we release.
Yeah.
Hold and release.
Yeah.
It's like if we hold for too long, if we forget to release, it's like baggage, right? It's a sack of potatoes that we're carrying around.
You remember Kate said that she accumulates? That is the problem. Everybody does it. You see, what are the detox I do is to let people detox from this accumulation of thoughts or memories and all that. We don't need all of them. That's the way you got to understand the information age with all this data that is coming up. We can accumulate a lot of dirt that is not really needed for us, and we are not aware of it.
Yes.
See, like I was saying in my wellness club, these are the things that are hidden in the practice I designed, but then people may not get it in the beginning, all the explanation. But I'll just let them come and do that. I'm in the present. I don't bring any problems, any conversations, nothing. I will be doing or ask them, be here and now, deep breathe with me, and do both sides of the body. And then as they're going on, I'll be watching them. This is done on Zoom, right? So I can watch them, I can correct them, I can adjust them. And then usually they talk to me before or after this class so that I know what their health condition, I know why they are there, what they want to improve. So I kind of show the variations for them. Okay, suppose somebody has some serious problem with the shoulder, I'll be telling them some shoulder this is what Gomukhasana, that means cow pose. And it's very difficult for somebody who has so I want them, don't do this, Kristen, don't do this. I'll tell her, and then I'll go like that. So, but they will be studying themselves, Jacob, in the practice. That's what I direct them to study themselves, how their body is responding, how their mind is responding, and all. So actually, that helps them a lot. And then they get quiet because I am quiet and I'm just paying attention to them. And then I'm compassionately directing them what to do. And they love it. They come there with a lot of problems and all that. But when they come here, no judgments, no yelling, no screaming, nothing like that. So they like that. Yeah. But basically, how I keep myself is my thing, right? That's where I focus on. And then I may gently direct them. But basically, they learn this self-study slowly and they come into them. It's not self-righteousness. It's self-study of what is really happening in my body, what's happening in my thought world, feeling world, and all that. Without judgment. Just be here and now. I think you should go and listen to this talk from the beginning, Jacob, because you came after. I was asking people to pay attention to their breathing, pay attention to how they eat, pay attention to when they're walking, to what is they feel in the feet, and also so many different ways are there. Whatever you do, just pay attention.
I will listen to the replay.
Yeah, listen. I think you like it.
When I'm thinking right now. I have a thought that's lingering that occurred during your segment just now, and it's wisdom. Wisdom. The difference between wisdom and like holding and letting go, right? Like without, like the word judgment, the word. It's like to. It's, you see, like a wisdom is accumulated too. Right?
No, let me put it this way: if you have only information, and then you are using your intellect, you will not see the insight and the wisdom. But if you are intuitive about it, the information is taken and there is an insight from the information, and that is wisdom. The insight should happen within you. Otherwise, it's going to be just information. Look at Kate, what she did. I got it. I feel it. I now have, because she was not. She was fighting with information beginning, but then after she got that, she said, "This is enough for me. I got it." That means the insight happened within her. So use the information, but don't be stuck with it. Don't accumulate it, but use the information to get the insight of the truth of the matter, and then that insight becomes your wisdom. If I tell you do this, don't do this, that's not wisdom. If I tell you, okay, this is the problem, this is what happens, this is what, and then out of all the discussion, you have an insight, okay, this is why this happens, so I know it. You are not accumulating information, you are having a glance of the insight within your own being. And that insight helps you to get that aha moment. They say, oh yeah, this is true. So that means your truth, not somebody else is telling you the truth.
I like that. I like that. I feel like wisdom is quiet. It's like information's more active. Wisdom's kind of like when the dust settles. Like,
information can be useful for the practical things, but when it comes to inner understanding, you need the insight. Suppose something, fire is there, you touch it, you burn, and then immediately that becomes an insight. If I go there and touch the fire, it will burn me. And that is not just information, your experience of that, right? So many people are spending a lot of time in accumulating information, which you go to somebody, they say this is right, you go to other person, they say this is right. So unless it becomes your truth, you will be swayed by so many different information pieces. External things, very good for the information, you can use that, but internal things, it doesn't work. Remember what I said about first be silent, then do anything. That means silent means doesn't mean you'll be dumb or accept everything. No, you just don't let your intellect run away with so much information and then conclude some things and go. After all, what we are teaching here is awareness where there is no judgment. You are aware of your breath, for example. I tell you, Jacob, be aware of your breath, how you are breathing in and out. Don't judge yourself, oh, I'm not breathing properly. Just whatever it is, just be aware. Then slowly I tell you, okay, breathe deeply and come down. Hi, Blue, how are you?
I'm very good. I just want to add that it can take it can take a little courage.
You are cutting off, Blue.
And what I mean by that is, so I'll give an example. Yesterday I was running errands, went to the movies, went different places. I parked in a parking garage. I told the story earlier. I've had different moments where I have realizations.
You are cut off. You are cutting off, Blue. Can you hear him or Jacob? Is she cutting off to you too? You are cutting off, Blue. I could not hear all of it. Maybe she's in a place she cannot.
Perhaps driving or something.
Yeah.
I may have heard some
maybe
road sounds.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, this isn't, like I'm experiencing a garage, which is the concept.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm really somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm not experiencing somewhere, like in the physicality of it. I'm experiencing the idea of what I think it is. Mm-hmm. And I think our brains just maybe do that to like make things like happen really fast. But last night I had this like where everything slowed down. And then I looked at the cars and I was like, okay, well, I mean, the cars have to be real. I was like, it took technology to make them and people had to create them. And then I had this moment where I was like, yeah, but I'm still experiencing the idea of the car before I experienced the car. Like I looked at all the cars and I was like, I have ideas about these cars, like the way they're shaped, their colors, their brands. And it's all very subtle, like this constant. And then I felt this like feeling of like seeing all the ideas of everything I experienced.
That's what I was saying.
Before I experienced the experience, and I wanted to kind of wipe those ideas away, if you might say.
It's not the ideas.
And then I was a little bit kind of scared about, like, not scared, but kind of like, well, what's past the ideas of the experience?
Yeah. The more you experience.
And then I came into this room tonight, and I appreciate what you said, that like you said that we can slow, that it's useful to slow that down so that we can make choices.
Yeah, that's my experience.
And so tonight something happened to me. I had my partner called me. She said someone broke into our storage.
Oh.
And stole our checkbooks, stole all looked through very important papers. And I thought to myself, I was in the middle of doing something. I was like, should I stop what I'm doing and turn around and like, maybe I need to go home. Maybe I need to do this or that. And then I'm like, you're interacting with ideas. And my brain was like, and then I had this choice. I was like, and then I was like, I could just keep doing what I'm doing. And something intuitive.
I can't hear her off of it because she's going off the mic.
But I do want to tell you this, Dr. Rao. Yeah. It's kind of scary to trust how do I say this? To decide that, like, I'm not going to react out of fear.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I teach in the morning is that deep breathing really makes you not to react that quickly, but respond to what you are doing.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying. You're saying, so this realization that we're interacting with these ideas almost all the time, if we can realize that, then we can slow that down.
Exactly. That is the intuitive awareness that works with that. See, I will tell you a development of how this happened to us. René Descartes, he's a French philosopher. He said, I think, therefore I am. But actually, he stopped one shot of we are conscious beings, we are awareness beings, and then we have the thoughts. Thoughts happen to us. We don't happen to the thought, right? And then because he stopped short, kind of civilization developed into thinking first and thinking we are the thought.
Yeah, but it can be a little scary because you kind of learned, or like, so I didn't have anyone to talk to about this last night, so I talked to ChatGPT AI.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, it's good that you're understanding this is a very deep philosophical realization, blah blah blah. But it was like, society functions based on these ideas about objects.
Yeah, but
and that's what makes society work. And so you should be careful that you don't go too far away from the ideas about what you're experiencing.
Actually, It's not going far away. It's going to who you really are. You are that silent self.
That's what I'm saying, Dr. Rob. And what I'm trying to say is that it takes that. I feel like Jacob needs to hear this. I don't know why. Intuitively, I feel like Jacob needs to hear this. It can take courage. That's all I know to say.
Yeah. What I approach is what I do with myself, and then once I land it up, then I can relate and share this. But then people come with the different levels of that rapidity of thought, and once they understand thought is a tool, and they kind of perplexed because they thought their thoughts are them. That's the problem with a lot of neurotic activity that goes on, especially nowadays with all this data coming in. If you don't know how to use your mind, then you are really neurotic, doing the same things again and again, even though you know it's not really right. Anyway, that's why. Yeah.
The word is conditioning.
Yeah.
That's what some people use. They say that we're conditioned.
You are
and if our
conditioned.
conditioning has been working for us.
No, conditioning has this effect of physical formation of neurotic pathways, so that they become so strong when you really don't want it. Even then the thoughts will come, without any provocation.
But we're socialized to be neurotic, and it works. It creates society.
Not necessarily. That's what I'm talking about. Because I am a physician, I'm an informatician. I use a lot of things outside, but also I discovered this silence of the mind, which I enjoy myself, which is very healthy, and I can pay attention to anything, one thing at a time. That can be done. Okay, so don't go with the conclusions. Just understand the insights, and then it will come through us. Anyway, we are.
I'm just saying that they can be challenging because there's all these exterior pressures that say that it's quite fine to be conditioned.
No, it is very challenging. But once you know your conditioning, there are people who went through all that discussion about it, and there are several insights were there. But then Western civilization has turned to external intellect and senses, not to the intuitive awareness. Whereas Eastern had it before, but they are also now westernized. So everybody is in the same boat now. But I bring it the ancient wisdom because I have insights which I applied in my life, which are very serene for me and very important. And health-wise also is so important. Anyway, I'm usually do 6 to 7 joules. I have something else coming up at 7 o'clock now. I'm already late, But I will see you again, okay? Next tomorrow. I will do the day 3 tomorrow, Jacob. Okay, so you can. I have made some videos also. They are on the YouTube. If you want to go and see them there. Okay.
100%. We need a text communication channel. So I think that would be wonderful if you're interested in that. I would love to add you on some sort of media or something. By the way, Blue, thank you so much for saying courage. Yeah. I don't know why I needed to hear that. Gosh, I don't know what it is. And the last thing, friggin', sorry to keep you. I know you're on your way out the door. When I first got into this room, I was sitting there. I'm really tired right now. I've had an incredible week in all sorts of ways. Not saying good or bad, just it's so different than some of my other weeks in my life. And I'm sitting here right now, so sleep deprived. I'm like, oh, Dr. Rao, I'm gonna pop in. And there was the other lady who was speaking, and I sat there, and I'm kind of just like thinking, almost like half meditatively, half like aware. And I'm like, I don't even feel like a human. I feel like a boundary of energy, Jacob-styled energy. I'm like, this is a really interesting feeling.
Okay, Jacob, I have to go really. I'm already late. Okay, I will see you tomorrow.
Have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.
You too.